Okay, hello guys. This is Fuzzy Chords. Yeah, this is Boom and Crash Indices. So I just want to quickly show you a good strategy, a quick strategy for scalping three candles in the market for Boom and Crash, and I also show you how you can trade the spikes, especially in a very, in a very trendy market. So let's talk about the trend. Now, this strategy, I'll be showing you my parameters where I used. Okay, first I'm using moving average 50 for my trend. Then this is my relative strength index period 16 applied to close, style 2 pixel. Then these are the levels. So okay, these are the levels. I hope you got that. um, Okay, then the other one, the final indicator is your MACD. So these are my parameters for the MACD. As you can see, these are my parameters. So um, now how this strategy works is it works for the spikes and it works for the trend. Now, number one thing you need to put is your zoom levels. Now we are going to be using the third zoom level. Now this is your first zoom level, the second zoom level, your third zoom level. We could use the third zoom level or we could use the second zoom level, but I personally I love using the second zoom level. Yes, this zoom level works better for me. So how does this strategy works? Now the my black line is the MACD line, while my blue line over here is my RSI line. Now anytime the MACD line crosses the RSI around this 70 axis to this from 70 upward, or from 30, from around 30 downwards, we'll scalp three candles. So um, if you can look at this place, if you see very well, um, the MACD line crosses the RSI, and as you can see, you can be able to scalp three candles. Also here too, in fact, should I just say, almost all the time, almost all the places where it crossed, there are just some few exceptions, like something like this. Most times when it happens like this, we take our losses, but that's why it's always safer to scalp around these zones, this 70 axis and around 30. So once price cross once your MACD line crosses through the RSI, we'll scalp three candles. So if we had entered here, we would have scalped three candles. If we had entered here, we would have scalped three candles as well. Now let's back test. Okay, same thing here. If you had entered here, you would have scalped for three candles. Same thing here, you would have scalped for three candles. I will show you how you can scalp for more candles. We'll come to that. Now if you look at this place here, we would have scalped three candles, we would have scalped three candles, we would have scalped three candles. As you can see, it's very, very accurate. Almost all the time it works, almost all the time. There are just some few exceptions. Once we have the exceptions, we take our losses. So if you had entered here, you would have scalped for three candles. If you had entered here, you would have scalped for another three candles. um, if you had entered here, you would have scalped for another three candles. So that's how it works for the trend, basically. So for spikes, of course, how we catch spikes is I will add my relative strength index period 40. We're using period 40, period So okay, we're going to use period 80 and not 40, period 80. So this is how it works. For the spikes, we are going to be using period 80 to catch very long spikes. Like, you know, there are times in boom and crash where we have the market going this long, going this long, and you wonder that how do you manage to catch the spike. So we use period 80 to catch the spike. So as you can see, price got to the 15 line 15, as you can see, and where if you had held the trade, because usually once we have a very long trend like this, we will always have multiple spikes. So if you had entered here and you had held your trade, you would have got longer spikes. So you would have got all these spikes up. I don't know if you understand. So that's how it works basically. So let me do a quick recap. Once the MACD crosses the RSI, we're going for a trend of 3 candles, short candles. Now let's check crash 1000 or crash 500. Let's look at crash 500. Let's look at crash 500. Okay, now if you look at crash 500, as I said, we'll be using our second zoom level. So on crash 500, once the MACD line crosses the RSI, we go in for a trend for 3 candles. So price crossed the MACD line upward here, so you would have scalped 3 candles. As you can see, even at this place, you would have entered and you would have taken 3 candles. Okay, let's look for another instance. Look at this place. If you had entered here, you would have scalped 3 candles. If you had entered here, you would have scalped 3 candles. As you can see, then let's go back. Look at this place. If you had entered, you would have taken 3 candles for the spike. Also here, you would have taken 3 candles before the spike. So this is how it works. I'll be dropping more strategies for you to soon, so you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'll be dropping more of this, how to hold your trade for long using price action. I'll be dropping that soon as well, so stay tuned. If you look at this place, we would have scalped 3 candles. We would also look at this place, we would have scalped 3 candles. Even this place too would have scalped 3 candles. So it works 80% of the time. You won't get a strategy that is 100%. No strategy is 100%. But when the market don't go our way, we take our losses and we enter another day. So this is it. As you can see, always very, very accurate. Now for the spikes, we wait for our RSI, the blue RSI line, to cross 83. Then we enter our trade for spikes. So once we enter our trade for spikes, after we wait for 3-4 candles, if we don't get the spike, we enter again, because we know that the market will always spike. So that's how we catch spikes. Cheers and God bless.